Greetings and salutations and welcome back. Just kidding. What's good? What's good? Welcome back to Invest and Trade with Jax. Let me quickly adjust my brightness. Okay. Perfect. Hope everybody's doing well. Good morning. 11:30 a.m. here in Johannesburg, South Africa. We're going to go over our friend Bitcoin. I've been noticing a very interesting fractal that could see us a nice push up to 26, 28K. And then come down to 10K, 10 to 12K for BTC. So currently we're sitting at 20,443, down about 4.5. We're seeing that pullback just as we talked about in yesterday's video. We're sitting on a market cap of 386 billion. 24-hour volume, 28.25 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to crypto.com, you can sign up to the world's fastest growing crypto app and grab one of the incredible Visa cards, cashback and crypto, free Spotify, Netflix, Prime, travel incentives, $25 just for signing up through my referral. So we're going to start here on the daily time frame. So you see this long wick right here. Also can be known as a tail, a bottoming tail. Basically, we had some very swift sell-off, and then we consolidated just as we did right here. We have a nice bottoming tail, and then we consolidated. So what we're going to do is we're going to count these daily candles. Now I'm going to count them two at a time. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18, 20, 24, 26. So it took 26 days in total until we saw the next drop. Now, if we look at this bottoming tail, this long wick here, and we count the candles, we have 2, 4, 6. Sorry, I have to do a recount. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26 candles. Can you believe that? Woohoo! The exact same number of days that it took for us to start to break down after we had the long tail, 26 days. So it took the exact same amount of days from this bottoming tail, 26 days to start to break down once again, just as we did with our previous breakdown. It took 26 days exactly before we saw our next leg down. So what I'm looking at here is that we are right here in this fractal. We're consolidating. I do think we'll see a nice push up to about 26K, and then we'll come down to 10 to 12K in my opinion. So if we measure this move here from the bottom of this wick down to this low, it was about a $7,000 move. So if we take a measurement here from the bottom of this wick here, this low at 17.7K, and we come down about $7,000, that's going to bring you down $7,000 move to 10K, 10.6K BTC. So if we continue to follow this fractal where we've had a tail, we consolidated for 26 days, we saw a wave down, then we consolidated once again. This is what I'm looking at for BTC. So we had our bottoming tail, we had our long wick down, 26 days of consolidation, boom, you have your next leg down, you consolidate once again. As you can see right here, let me find it once again. We did see a little bit of a pump that brought us very close to these levels of support. So I do think we could see a little bit of a pump up to 26, 28K. And then just as we did right here, see our next leg down, a $7,000 move from the low here. So we come up, we hit resistance, we break that 17K low, and we're looking for a $7,000 move that could take you down to about 10,000. It's called a measured move in crypto, where you look at past history, you look at a fractal, and you can estimate how large the next move will be. So that would bring you down to 10K, and that lines up with our 11. We're looking at about 11 to 13K price target, but of course it can come down a little bit more and come down to 10,000. So this move here took about, looks like about 15 or 16 days until we started to break down once again. So if we measure from this wick low here and we pull it out for 16 days, basically you're looking at about July 4th for the next move down. If we continue to follow that fractal, it was just something that I thought was quite interesting here. The fact that we had the exact same amount of days, 26 days before we saw our next wave down, 26 days before seeing our next wave down. So we may continue to follow this fractal. So what I think is going to happen here, we'll see a nice push up to at least 26K, quite possibly about 28K, come back down, lose this low, and see that final leg down to take you down in between probably about 10 to 13K, as we've been covering here on the channel. So if we pop into our Elliott wave theory, beautifully pulled back to our target range in between 18.4 and about 19.6k. If we use our fib retracement here from the bottom all the way up to the top, you can see we've come right down to the 0.382, which is a minimal target for a wave 2 pullback. Usually you are going to come down in between the 0.5 and the 0.618, coming in about 19.5k and about 19k, but we have reached our target range. So the wave 2 can end at any time. You can see a bounce off this level, but usually what you'll see for a correction, what you want to be looking for is an A, B, C correction. Complete the wave 2 and look for that larger wave 3. The trend-based fib extension from the bottom of wave 1 to the peak of wave 1 and to the bottom of wave 2. So if this were to be our bottom, you would be targeting the 1.618, currently coming in at about 26.6k for your wave 3. If we come deeper to the middle of this box, then you're looking at about 25.8k for your wave 3. And the other way that you can measure it, the way that I usually like to measure it, take your fib retracement from the top of wave 1 down to the bottom and look for a target. Your minimal target is the 1.618, which basically lines up 24.6, and then you're looking at the 2 extension in between the 2 and the 2.618. I do think the 2 would be your target at about 26.7. Put in a wave 4 correction and possibly see that wave 5 to retest these levels of support as resistance at 28.6k before coming back down and quite possibly breaking 17k. In my opinion, if we follow that fractal. As I've been mentioning here, when you see that wave 2 correction, look for the inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And you can see we're beautifully starting to form that right shoulder. So if you watched yesterday's video, you'll see that all the predictions have been coming to fruition, which is awesome. It's not always going to work out so perfectly, but we've been doing quite well lately here on the channel. We've also been making some juicy profits. Let me pop it open quickly in the Discord. $10 a month to get my exact entries, exits, and take profits. And we shorted the wave 2 pullback here, making some juicy profits here with ADA. ADA, we locked in 8% already, 8% profit, locked in 25% exit on Matic for a 6.7% profit. And the members here are making some juicy profits as well. 119%. I mean, he's using crazy leverage, but with ADA here, 25% with ADA. Me, I'm on like 1-2x leverage. These guys like 10-20x. But of course, trade at your own risk. But if you want my exact entries, exits, take profits, make sure to check out the Discord. I think that's basically it in the short term. Do watch this fractal here on the daily. We are basically right here in this area. I do think we'll see a nice push up to at least 26k, quite possibly 28, and then just as we did right here, see that next wave down, which looks like it could happen here in early July. So over the next couple weeks, if you see that push up, we start to get rejected, I'll most likely be looking to enter some short positions to ride it back down. Best case scenario, we hold these lows, create some sort of ascending triangle. But if you look at the S&P, you look over the stock market, it does look like it's going to come lower. And that's when you can see this fractal play out, see a $7,000 move from this low that will bring you down to about 10K BTC. Big shout out to the Discord, over 1,900 members posting chart patterns, my exact entries, exits, take profits for my spot trades, as well as my leverage trades. Made some juicy profits on Sol spot trading as well as Matic, and just made some juicy profits shorting Matic and ADA on that wave 2 pullback here. And over 1,900 members posting chart patterns, talking all things crypto. You can sign up through the Patreon if you want to trade with me. $4,100 bonus on Bybit. Check the links in the top of the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, much love. Take care. Smash that like button. All right, see ya.